studies, everything was fantastic. Welcome, welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. Okay, so we're with you. Yes, I was saying, welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. Once again, my name is Anietie Bature. And on this channel, we bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and in your relationships. So, a lot has happened in the past week, both online and offline, and one interesting one stuck out. And we decided, hey, let's speak on this trend and talk about it because it was quite interesting. So a friend of mine, Waja, put up a question on behalf of her friend on Twitter. And it was a very interesting question. Okay. So this question said, husbands, I'm asking for a friend. If your wife goes grocery shopping and as she gets to the counter to sort the bill, a fine fella offers to pay her bill. Should she politely decline or allow this stranger help with the bill? I'll read that question again. So just in case you didn't hear me, listen well. Husbands, and I guess this can also apply to boyfriends, fiancés, and so on. I'm asking for a friend. She said, if your wife goes grocery shopping and as she gets to the counter to sort the bill, a fine fella, some good-looking dude, offers to pay her bill, should she politely decline or allow this stranger help with the bill? In fact, just put it simple. Should she say no? Ladies, if you were in that situation, would you say no? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Yes, it's an interesting question. There are a number of factors here. And in fact, when we put this up on Facebook to say, hey, we're going to talk about this, someone already jumped in and said, the scenario here, it can be plenty scenarios. What exactly happened? She wanted to know more of the details. And yes, we will dissect it, investigate, probe, look at the different perspectives to see, okay, in the different scenarios that could play out, how would you respond? How should you respond? What is a good way to respond, right? And like I always say, you will find that based on the scenario, based on the situation, based on the conditions, based on a lot of factors, there's no one answer or one way that will address or that will suit everyone because, hey, it's a different experience for each person. So what should we do? So we'll just take time to look at the different perspectives and see, okay, how would we handle this? How would we handle this? So in the studio today, I have a few friends that will be joining us. We'll be jumping in and jumping out. Yes, my husband is one of them. KJ is also one of them. We call him Toby anyway. So at some point, he'll be in on this program. Yes, and maybe we'll have one or two others. But yeah, so that's our lineup. And I will start with one thing. Let's start with one thing. And that is the need. What's the need? This is one aspect that I would like to consider. What's the need? Okay, so let's say this person is married, and let's say for some reason they're going through a very rough patch in their marriage. In fact, maybe they were even praying, oh God, send us food. Oh God, just imagine. And then out of, let's say, faith, the wife decides to go shopping, even though she does not have money. Assume. And then she picks a few things by faith. Please just wait. Just follow me, eh? Don't be angry yet. And don't say, no. Don't give me that faith gist. Let's just go on this journey. Things happen, right? So she picks all of the things she needs, fills her basket, gets to the counter, maybe is a bit fidgety, wondering what she's going to say, knowing that she doesn't have money and so on. And then by some chance this guy offers to pay. Or maybe she had part of the money, not everything. And she's just like, let me get there. When they tell me exactly what the bill is, I'll decide what to drop and what not to drop. And then someone comes and says, I'm going to pay for the whole thing. Now, based on the need, hmm, based on the need, you know that that woman can actually see that guy as an angel. In fact, she may not even see whether he's a fine fella, whether he's a dude, whether he's ugly, whether he's fat, whether he's a six pack. She might not even see any of those. All she will see is, all she could possibly see is, this guy is an answer to my prayer. And you know, she could actually accept his gift, right? Take everything that she has to that he has to offer, right? Pay the bill. Thank you so much, Mr. Whatever your name is. You are God sent. You're an angel. You're a blessing to my family. For instance, God bless you. And she takes her goods, walks away with gratitude. Okay, so that's the case where you're looking at the part of the need. Now, there's something interesting here, you know, and I would like to read what someone put up on Facebook. Yes, so someone on Facebook said had this to say. Someone on Facebook had this to say, and I'll quickly go there. This person said that human beings are always pretending. Human beings are always pretending that whether you like it or not, people, if any guy anywhere is offering a favor to a lady for any reason whatsoever, she may be thinking what he's looking for is sex, and that sex is now or in the future. That is what he's saying. So it's better for her to say no, right, and walk away, or just go ahead and accept his gift and know that she's going to give him whatever he wants, right? I don't know if you believe that. If you believe that, so that's that person's perspective. Hi, Deborah, I see you. Welcome, Debbie. It's good to have you here. You know, so that's that person's perspective, thinking that everybody who does something nice to someone does it because they want something back. They want something back, right? So a guy helps a lady out, and every time he helps it, anytime any guy helps any lady, is because he wants sex now or in the future. Do you believe that? If you're in the audience, feel free to drop a comment to tell me, do you believe that? Do you believe that any guy that does a favor for any lady is looking for sex now or later? I do not agree with that statement, because it's too, how should I put it? It's like rubber stamping everyone and saying this is how all guys are. I don't believe that. I believe that there are good people out there who will actually help someone because they feel, hey, let's do something nice for someone today. It could be the guy got a raise in the office and he feels like, hey, I need to do something nice for someone, for a perfect stranger, for instance. And he goes there and he's thinking, okay, whoever is near me, I'll pay the person's bill, and that's my way of giving back. It could be that. It could be the person is in a hurry. Something like this happened to me some time back. I was really in a hurry, and I got to the counter, and there was this lady in front of me, and it seemed that there was some issue with her card. It wasn't the payment wasn't going through, and there was going to be this whole back and forth of, try this card, no, try that card. Wait, is your POS working, and so on and so forth. And I was in a hurry, so I just told the person at the counter, you know what? Just add her bill to mine.
Hi everyone. Yes, I can read your lips, but I can't hear you. I'm guessing we can't hear you, ma. No, ma, not yet. No, we can't hear you yet. Ma. Okay, ma. So I'm guessing you're asking me to give my input on what I think about the matter. Just nod it. Okay, fantastic. So basically, I would say it's a tough one. Reason being because yes, there it is a very high chance that the guy might not want anything more than just helping to pay the bills. But that is often most time not the case. So I could say that 90% of the guys that I know personally would want something in return for that. So is it worth the risk saying that most men or not every man is like that? So why not just take it? The reality is, in my opinion, nothing goes for nothing. There's always going to be one exchange or the other. But if my wife or let's say my girlfriend can get him to pay without having to give our own personal phone number, yeah, who am I if you insist? why why not? I can
Oh
hear
my
you now,
goodness.
ma. I can hear you
Okay,
now, ma.
great. All
Yeah.
right, thank you. That's really funny. So more like as long as nothing is taken from you in quotes, she should go ahead. Oh my
We'll give
goodness.
we'll give the testimony together in church.
That's terrible. That's a very selfish perspective, by the way, honestly. Well, thanks anyway for sharing that feedback. You know, there was this clip I saw. Thanks for coming in. There was this clip I saw sometime back where this lady, dressed really nicely, went out, was looking good and catchy, and some person offered to give her a lot of money, and she just played him about until he paid in like 500,000 into her account, right? And then was saying, okay, so my car is just parked over there, let's go. And just then her boyfriend shows up. And her boyfriend shows up and he's big macho, and he tells this other guy, I heard you just gave my babe money, thank you, you're too kind. And then they walked away. And the guy couldn't do anything about it because, man, come on, are you going to fight this guy that looks like he's a bouncer or something? But yeah, so that's the aspect of the need. Okay, so there are two things: need that could drive someone to want to accept this thing. Okay, so that's one part. The other part is intent. What's the intent? What's the intent of the person who is offering this gift? For someone who, not everybody, we have to conclude, we have to agree that not everyone is out to get something back. There's a chance that this person is honestly just being nice and kind. But yes, there is also the chance that this person is trying to use this gift as a bait to lure you in and get something from you, or to lure the woman in and get something from her. And most of the time when we talk about things like this, we talk about the man giving to the woman, but it could also be a woman giving to a man. So in dealing with situations like this, you always have to look out for what's the intent. You may not know it all, but even if you don't know it, then you need to look at the other part of the intent, right? So let's say this guy actually has an intent to get something back from you that lawfully you shouldn't be giving, morally you shouldn't be giving, right? What is the response on the other side? If she wants to accept that gift, can she accept the gift and walk away without, for instance, giving her number to the guy, which would mean that there's going to be a follow-up call? Hey, I'm that guy who helped you out at the supermarket, can we hook up, and so on? Can she accept the gift and walk away. Someone says it's very dangerous. Djimoski, I see you. She said it's very dangerous. Yeah, it's quite an interesting one. It's dangerous. Can she accept the gift and walk away? If she can accept the gift and walk away without giving her phone number, without giving any follow-up contact details, then you could say that she has truncated whatever his intent was, right? His intent will now have to stop at you were a good citizen, you were a nice neighbor. His intent would have to stop at that. But if she is not able to walk away without giving her contacts to him, then she is open to, or whoever the person is open to whatever intent the other person had. If they had the thought of following up to get more from you, right? Then by not walking away, you have kept the door open for that follow up to actually happen. And you may be feeling, yeah, now the question is, would you give your number to a stranger, someone you don't know, just walks up to you, hey, give me your phone number, give me your contact details? Would you give your number to a stranger? I'm sure most people would say no. But just in case you would give your number, please just put it down there. Would you give your number to a stranger? Debbie says, what if he's a stalker? Exactly. Would you give your number to a stranger? Faith is saying, wait, would you give your number to a stranger? Would you give your number to a stranger? You don't know the person. You don't know who the person is. You don't know where they're from. You don't know if they sent them to you. You don't know. You really do not know. Would you give your number to a perfect stranger? So now the thing is, in my experience in discussing with people, in even security tips that you are given, you shouldn't give your number to strangers. So if you have come to the point where you feel obligated to give this person your number just because they paid your bill, then we can say that you have bitten more than you can chew, in quotes, or you have taken more than you should have. You have taken something that now makes you feel indebted to the person. So what are you collecting? It's a good time to ask ladies out there and to ask gentlemen out there, what have you been collecting? Sheyi says, I can give my number and ghost him afterwards. No, that's Adenike. I can give my number and ghost him afterwards. So that means you're giving the number just to make it look like you are also being a nice person, but you have intentions to ghost him afterwards. Okay, thanks for sharing, Shay. And Jennifer says, well, it depends on the approach. Okay. And Faith says, let me see. Faith says, what of a situation where a friend gave my contact to the person? What do I do? Oh, and this person, by some coincidence, this person meets you up. Well, it has to be established that your friend is the one who made the contact, in which case you have to go back to your friend and find out, hey, how far, what's going on here? Are you trying to matchmake and so on? And Sheifomi says, no, I wouldn't. So one asked for mine last week and I said no. These days, I know people say stuff like, I'll give you my Instagram handle, so check me out there. And I can also check you out when you follow me. Danielle says, there's always that innate notion that when someone receives a gift from a member of the opposite sex, there's a tendency to feel indebted. Yes, it depends on what you accept. And that's what I was asking Danielle. What are you accepting? People, hey, people, what are you accepting? Are you accepting something that you can just say, oh, thanks, that was nice of you, and walk away? Or are you accepting something that will say, hey, see what this person gave me? Oh, hey. And then all of a sudden you want to do so much for the person because you feel like I owe the person. It's just like in normal everyday life relationships, there are some people who are accepting gifts and accepting favors and accepting help and accepting all sorts. And by the time the person comes and says, will you marry me? Even though he's not your spec, he doesn't align with your purpose in life, he has so many red flags all over the place. But just because of all the favors you've received from him, all the gifts, all the money, all the everything you've accepted from the person, you accept the proposal. Or you even say, let me kukuma marry this girl. The things she has done for me. She has cooked, she has cleaned, she has given me money, she bailed me out, she's given money to start my business, she has, or he has. And you now feel indebted and you go ahead and marry the person out of pity or out of mercy. What are you accepting? Are you accepting stuff that makes you feel indebted? Really, oh. Check it. Djimoski says, most times we guys don't just help a lady unless we wanna. establish something with her. Thank you, Djimoski, for that comment. So it's okay to start off a relationship by offering help, right? But it doesn't mean that that person has to respond to you by just opening up all of a sudden. Here's my number. In fact, this is where I live. This is everything about me just because you helped. No. So, ladies, you should be able to hold your own. You should be able to hold your own. Okay. All right. So now, before I say anything else, I would like to bring in another interesting person to the studio, Mr. John Jerry. John, are you there? Welcome to Common Sense for Relationships. John, you're welcome to the show. And I would like to hear some of your thoughts on this.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, John. So please go ahead. Yeah, so John, I was asking, what are your thoughts on this? Would you like your darling wife to accept this kind of gift from a stranger in the mall or in the market, supermarket,
Can you
anywhere?
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So, John, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, John, I can hear you. And I was asking, would you like your wife to accept this gift, a gift from a stranger at the mall decides to pay for your wife's shopping, regardless of the cost? Would you like her to accept that gift? And what are your views on the subject? Okay, John, it seems you can't hear me. I guess we'll fix that. But while we're fixing that, I'll just quickly touch on something else. There's
I
integrity
should come
here,
back to
guys.
tell me.
Integrity is really important. And whoever you are, you need to have integrity. You need to be able to say, this is who I am, this is what I can do, this is what I cannot do, this is the point beyond which I feel I will be susceptible, this is the point beyond which I feel vulnerable. There's a way someone does something for you and you can actually accept it and move on and know that I'm not going to do anything that goes against my values, that goes against my beliefs, and so on. But if you know that it's getting to a certain point, then you just say, it's just like a restaurant, for instance. Some people say, oh, I want to go out on a date. I want to go out with you. I want to take you out. Okay, take me out now. Where are we going to? There's a way you can just walk down to a restaurant somewhere on your street and everything is fine. Or you can or you can get a taxi and go to a reasonable restaurant not too far. That's okay. But there's some kinds of restaurants that someone could take you to. And by the time the person finishes paying the bill and you discover how much was paid for your meal, it's almost like you swallowed the hook, you swallowed the bait. Your food was a bait. Will you allow that to happen? So you have to be able to say, beyond this point, no. So somebody will say, does that mean we shouldn't give gifts when we're in relationships? No, give gifts. But don't give something that makes you feel like the person owes you. And don't accept something that makes you feel indebted to the person, because you need to maintain your objectivity. You need to still have the power to say no. So if accepting something will make you feel like, oh, I owe this person, no, I have to do whatever they say, then you have made yourself vulnerable. You shouldn't do that. Okay, so is John ready now? Okay, so we'll call Toby. Toby is on the call. Yes, we can bring in Toby at this point. Toby, are you with us? Let's hear what you think about this.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
Hey.
Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Toby. Yes, we can hear you. Please share.
All right. So I'll just go straight to my own point. So this is for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, personally, I don't have a problem with my wife or my girlfriend, quote and unquote, accepting gifts from a stranger in a grocery shop and all that. And again, I really don't think a large number of men would have a problem with that. But here's the thing. Where I feel the problem comes in is where the level of trust the man has for his wife or his girlfriend. So if, for instance, now I see that my wife is the kind of woman that she doesn't really send. She will get the distance from you, but when it gets to the point where you say, give me your number, she looks at you from head to toe and be like, bro, are you really all right? You get. Why would I be scared for my wife to get? Because bring the grocery, collect the thing, and come to the house and share the testimony with me. We will thank the Lord Almighty. Who knows if that was God sending an angel to come and, But if beneath me, I know my wife very well, and I know she's the type that is very, very easily swayed. Someone comes to the grocery shop and tells you, hey, I want to pay for stuff, and pays for it. And I know my wife is the type of person that will easily give a number out. Whoa, auntie, I beg you in the name of God Almighty. Don't accept the grocery. Just come back home.
Interesting. Thank you so much.
Just come back home.
All right, Toby, thank you so much. That's really frank talk there. It's really interesting. Trust comes in. And, the issue of trust brings me to the matter of stakeholders. So for the person who is being offered a gift, who are the stakeholders in your life? You have to think about that, okay? Who are the stakeholders? And that a key stakeholder is your husband, or if it's a guy that's in this situation, your wife. If you know that the stakeholder is kind of person that, assuming that the intent of the guy is right, assuming that, okay, the need is apparent or there's no need at all, assuming you have your integrity in the right place and you're thinking, if you accept this gift, it's not a big deal, I can walk away, no strings attached. There's another thing to consider, which is the stakeholders. What is the relationship like with that stakeholder? So is the stakeholder your wife or your husband? Would they say, oh really, that was interesting, oh great, there's still some good people out there? Or are they going to say, what, who was the person, where is he from, what did he want, where's it, did you give him your number? And it may be that you didn't even give the number, and by the time you're narrating the story, somebody is suspicious and is checking your phone every 2 hours after then to see if something's happening that they don't know about. So you have to check how is the relationship with the stakeholder, in quotes, in your life. And if it is such that there's no trust, then you really want to walk away without accepting that gift. Yes, because you don't want wahala. You don't want trouble when you go home. And you don't want it to be that when you cook the food with the stuff you bought, someone will say, this thing that Mr. Something paid for you now. I hope I'm not eating love portion, no, and so on and so forth. Djimoski says, don't accept a gift or allow a guy to pay your bill if you are not ready to give out your number and attention. Okay, that's Djimoski, thanks for sharing that. So yes, so guys, you see, it's interesting in this world. Honestly, you will find diversity. You will find different things happening. You will find people who have good intentions, people who have bad intentions. You will find people who want to just be nice, people who want to take from you, and you always have to look out to protect yourself and to protect your family and to protect your relationship from things that could hurt or harm it. In the studio also with me is my husband, Mr. Bature. So please feel free to come in and share your 2 cents on the matter. Yes, we're waiting. Hello, we can hear you. I hope everyone else can hear you. Djimoski, since you are a very active guest, please, if you hear Mr. Bature, please just type 222, for instance. Let's know that you're hearing him. Jennifer, Jennifer says, I believe we ladies can tell from the guy's expression when such offers are made. Oh, that's a whole other level. How perceptive.
Can everyone hear me? How is my sound?
Debbie says it's all about being sensitive in the spirit. Oh, yeah, sister. Tejiri says discernment is needed, though, in this matter. No be all gifts and they collect. Thank you so much, Sheifumi, for that feedback. You can hear us. All right, Mr. Bature, I believe you can go ahead.
Okay. So there's one thing I want to add to the mix.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to add to the mix is this. Just a little twist. Hmm? Just a little twist, right? See, it's a case of what will you do? What will you do in the case where the guy, you as the guy, you are sitting down there? You know, the first case was she said the lady went to buy something and then, but this one, you as the guy, you are standing there with the lady, and there is a what's it called? There is a fine young man that steps up to the plate, and he's coming to want to pay the bill for the thing that the lady is buying. Yes, for the thing that the lady is buying. What will you do, guys? What will you do? What will you do? The lady is trying to buy something. You are there as the guy. Now, whether it's your babe, your fiance, your girlfriend, or your wife, the question is, another fine young gentleman steps up to the plate and say, "Let me take your bill," notwithstanding that your husband is there. Guys, this is the point where I want you to begin to speak your mind, because the story has shifted a little bit. You are there in person, so it's not that she's going to call you and say, "Oh, maybe one thing." She's not that she's going to call you and say, "Maybe one thing." Guys, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
So, Djimoski, I guess you can tell us. Let's see. Tejiri and the other guys who are on, feel free to drop those comments and tell us, what would you do if you are the guy and you're there with your girlfriend or your wife and somebody wants to come and pay for her? What would you do? Yeah. I'm waiting for those comments to come in. Oh, someone wants to call in live. Danielle Odua. Daniel, we'll send you the link. Someone will send you the link so you can come in live. That would be interesting. Okay, so somebody says I won't let that happen because that's disrespectful. Okay, so this is Jennifer even speaking up for the guys. I won't let that happen because that's disrespectful to my man. Or is the stranger blind? Ask, please ask. Let's be checking well, just in case. Or he's very bold, or he's trying to say, you know what, I got something he hasn't got, or you know what, or maybe it's just somebody who feels he's all that plus a bag of chips and he can just come and snatch you from somebody else. You never know. I mean, anything can happen. So, Jennifer, it's nice to see that you would like to protect your man's territory, help him protect his territory, and tell the person, "Oh boy, you know they see," or something of that sort. Jay Fumi says, "I won't let that happen." Shifumi says, as a lady, that's disrespectful to me and my man. Djimoski says, I will wait for her action before I do anything. Interesting. So is that okay? So you lost the audio. All right, so just give us a minute. Audio will be right back. Whew, interesting. Once you hear me, let me know. You can hear me now. Great. Thank you so much, Dot. Okay, so is Kingsley coming back to the studio? Because you asked a question, though, and some guys have given their feedback. Oh, now we want to hear you. What is your summation?
All right. Okay. So this is me talking now. It's interesting because I like the responses from the guy, but somebody said there's some. He said I have to stand up and be the man on that occasion. If I'm there, I won't let that happen. I have to stand up and be the man on that occasion. But guys, should be the guy just want to pay for your wife. What's the problem? Is it because he didn't say? Is it because he didn't say, "My guy, take the money and pay for her"? Where is the real problem? What's the real problem? I know there's the part where there's is disrespectful, but what's the real problem? Shebi is paying for the bill. He didn't say he wants to carry her home.
I think that there's a part where let me put it like this: men want to be seen as protector and provider, isn't it? Isn't that a thing where men want to be seen as protector and provider? Audio is out again. 6:36.
Audio is out again. Can you hear the audio? Can you hear me? Is it my audio or yours?
I'm not sure.
Just to be sure.
John Jerry, can you tell us what's going on? Can you hear me? Should we go on or should we stop? On our end, everything sounds fine, but if you can't hear, please let us know.
Yeah, Peter said yes, you can.
Okay, good. So I'll go on. I think that there's something there's something that about guys, I think, because I think men want to be seen as protecting and want to be seen as providing for the people, for the woman that they love, protecting and providing, and for you to be there present, wanting to show your fullness that you can protect and you can provide. And some other guy just walks into her space and says he wants to do your job. It's like somebody's coming to dethrone you. It's like somebody's coming to say you're not capable, I can do your job maybe even better than you. And I think that that's where the concern is. But well, I'm not a guy, so let me not speak for you people. Oh yeah, you push to say your own. Thanks, Debbie. Okay, so yes. What's the problem with what you said? Is anybody else giving us feedback?
John Jerry says my wife is not an auction. Say my wife is not is not on sale. What told the guy that I cannot pay the bill that is coming to pay for me? Did I beg him? Did I beg him to pay the bill? I did not beg him. You see?
Okay. So does our guest have the link now?
Yeah, I've sent the guy should have sent him the link.
Ibora says it depends on the approach of the man that will decide your response. Okay, the man might just be innocently trying to help. Yeah, he might just be innocently trying to help. Yes, he actually might be. And if he approaches nicely, like, oh, your wife or your friend is really lovely, I would like to do something for. Maybe in that case, he throws it open for you both. And that might be acceptable, But if he's coming and saying, oh man, she's hot.
There's another point too.
What's the other point?
Peter said, I think it would have been better if he paid for both. Okay, in this case, if he paid for the lady and he doesn't pay for you, there's problem. But if he paid for two of you, there's problem. Why are you laughing now? If he paid for the two of you, there's no problem. Because what I'm hearing you say is that it's like both of you are standing on the road. Because this thing has many dimensions. It's like both of you are standing on the road. And then somebody comes, drives up to the car, drives up to the car and tells your wife, get in, and leaves you standing. Mr. Johnson, why can't you give me the money and let me pay?
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my my goodness, it's interesting. Okay, we have Danielle now. Danielle, hooray! I'm so happy that you were able to get in. Thank you so much, guys, for sending the link on time. All right, Danielle, let's hear what you have to say.
I'm out. Hey guys, hello everyone. Hi, Pastor Anietie.
Hi.
Hello, Pastor Kingsley.
Hi.
So I was going to quickly touch on what Pastor Kingsley mentioned as to twist. Is really interesting. Can everybody hear me? Let's do a quick sound check. Can everyone hear me? Just
Yes,
thumbs up. Type something in the comment section if you can
yes,
hear me.
yes, we
Very
can
quickly,
hear
I
you.
think this, I'm just from a personal point of view. I would, as a matter of fact,
Oh, he's
allow the
buffering.
lady establish the
Oh, Daniel, your feed is kind of buffering. Let's hope it gets better. Okay, Daniel, we can't hear you at all. Can you hear us? We can't hear you at all. I think we have a problem with network at the moment, Daniel. So you may want to type your comments, Daniel. We really wanted to hear what you have to say, but it seems that the feed was really, really poor, so we couldn't hear you. Unless or you want to try again, you're back. Daniel, try again. Let's see if we hear you this time. Okay, we still can't hear you, Daniel. Okay, so Daniel, if you I think you have something interesting to say, so please just do us a favor and type it in the comments. We will see it and we will read it so everyone will get to hear or to know what your perspective is on the matter. All right, so yes, so yes, we've seen the different perspectives that are here. Djimoski says the guy can't be a ghost. Madam will answer some questions from me at home. Djimoski, Djimoski, your answers in this matter sometimes are very concerned.
Djimoski, I'm hearing you loud and clear as a Nigerian man, right? Djimoski, I can hear you as a Nigerian man. You can't just be.
So obviously Djimoski is like one of those stakeholders, right?
Yes.
That if you know your stakeholder is Djimoski, better do not elect that gift.
Don't mind yourself.
Just walk away. Trust the Lord to send you helpers that are women.
and you see, I'm thinking to myself, what's the real issue here? Now, taking this away, because we have seen there are different dimensions to it, right? There are different dimensions to it. There was something my wife made mention at the beginning, which is something I want to, as we begin to tie up, right? As we begin to tie up, we never let these sessions get more than 1 hour. But as we begin to tie up, because we're just discussing, we're gisting, we're talking about real issues. As we begin to tie this up, right? The question, the critical issue for me is what's at the heart of the problem? My wife has brought up personality. If the stakeholder has an issue with it, bounce.
Yeah.
Right? If it is not a pride something, because if you leave me, there's a way the person will pay for the thing, and I'll tell him, bros, we actually wanted to take some for the kids.
So you can bring more things and add.
Because he can pay. I don't know whether you are seeing this thing well. Maybe you are not seeing it well. There's a way you will tell him, bros. The guy said he wants to pay for, and I'm standing there as a gentleman concerned. I'm standing there. The man said he wants to pay for my wife. I'll tell her, babe, remember we cancelled some things from the list. Because of budget, we removed some things from the list. Can we not go and add it? Since there's free money, somebody wants to freely pay. That's one way of looking at it, though. I don't know if you have a problem with that. Deborah, thank you. Because the guy has money. We don't know. In fact, after paying, as a gentleman concerned, I can even ask him, bros, Can I get your contact? Maybe we can do business together.
Oh, that's another level.
Can I get your contact? People can do business together. You know, the flip side to it, and that is where I hear Djimoski very well, is the fact that you got to know who you marry. Bottom line, who did you marry? Who you marry, bros? On the bros side and on the sister side, who did you marry?
Yeah.
If your stakeholder will have a problem with it, then there will be a problem. If your stakeholder will not have a problem with it, then, in fact, it can become topic for discussion on the way home. So, because on one hand, there's a way you look at it, and that guy is an angel. Make we not use our hand pursue angel.
God sense.
Not use our hand pursue angel.
Yeah.
You know, of course it is possible. Of course it is possible. Of course it is possible for there to be an intent that is biased. But as a man that I am, bad guy like me, even by the time I supply more needs, the intent will begin to dwindle. Whatever he was looking at, John Jerry says, so what was the guy looking at that he decided to pay? Whatever he was looking at, by the time we begin to increase the bill, the intent will begin to reduce, dramatically. So as we're increasing the bill, the intent is reducing. And in fact, as a gentleman, he said, they said the angel sent to your wife, we are married, two shall become one. An angel to her is an angel to the family. That's another way to see it, though. That's another way to see it. Because we are all praying. Because my brother, you never reach time in your life when you say things hard like this. Things hard. And then angel come, say he wants to pay for your wife. See, the angel that wants to carry my wife and leave me on the road, we will laugh ourselves in that car. We will laugh ourselves. But where there will be a problem is maybe when it is girlfriend and boyfriend. Nothing has been signed. That's the one that trap that Djimoski want to set. That's the one that trap will catch. When it is girlfriend and boyfriend, nothing has been signed. Toby, there's Toby in the studio. He wanted to add something to this place. Toby.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, me, I have a whole lot of this.
Say it now. We're hearing. Just say it quickly.
Okay. So as a man, let me not lie. We all have egos, but now we cannot despise the place of ego when it comes to things like this. I think that's one of the reasons why some people's comments are the way they are. You understand? Like, is it on top of my wife you come and be gentleman? Is it on top of my wife that you want to come and show that you have money? Alaye, see, calm down. Do you understand? You can't do that to your fellow man. Yes, I know that. You want to do one or two, but can I calm down now? On top of my wife. It's worse when I'm even there with her and she has a ring on her hand, on her finger, and you're still coming.
Evidence.
Evidence. That's proof that this woman is taking. You're still coming. What are you coming to do? What point are you coming to prove now? Is your line going to be more sweeter than my own? I don't understand.
Okay, I hear you.
We have to plan that shopping, Djimoski. We'll plan it.
Djimoski, I think we should plan that shopping
for when we want to buy the car.
No, that was John. John said something. Where is John? Because part of our plan this year is that if the Lord blesses us and increases us, there's nothing wrong with a new car. As long as we're serving the Lord. I like enjoyment, but I like better things. You understand? I like good things. So Djimoski or any other angel that is around, please, you can come around when we are trying to buy the car. So I've said it now. Maybe you can Google me and send me a message, or send my wife a message that you want to buy her a car in her name. Anietie Bature. You understand that name? Not that you Anietie Bature / your company. No, that there'll be a problem. That's where Djimoski. There'll be a problem. but really these are real issues. So we have said the issue of
Yeah.
issue of the ego, the personality.
Yeah.
It's tough, but these are real issues. But the thing is, to navigate it, you must do it on the basis of who you are in the ship with. Who are the stakeholders that are there? Who are you in this with? We have to round up in a few minutes.
Bature.
We have to round up in a few minutes. Who are the stakeholders? Who are you? Who are you in this relationship?
And it's a good time. It's a good time to talk about the foundation, right? Because we're talking about what happens in a marriage setup, for instance, right? But it starts from the relationship. It's in the relationship that you know, is my girlfriend dependable? Is she trustworthy? Is my guy faithful? Will he give in when somebody approaches him? Like one time that one rich woman, in quotes, or at least wealthy woman, at least she had more money than us at that time, I guess, approached my husband in the bank, you know, and said, after he did his job, right, he said, oh, you did such a good job, you did well in taking care of me, your client or your customer, right? And then she said, so when you finish with work at the office and so on, so who takes care of you, you know? And she, you know, she used really nice terms to make an offer to this young, good-looking, tall banker, you know, and see whether this banker is going to be available for her. But thank God that my husband, at that time, we were not yet married, was able to tell her, I'm fine, madam. I'm okay, madam. We don't need any extra, anybody taking care, in quotes, of us. What, you know, it starts from the relationships. What is happening in your relationship? How is your person relating to other people? You know, do you trust them? Are you okay with how they are? If maybe you're doing a long distance relationship, for instance, is there trust? Is there accountability, and so on? John Jerry says, what if your wife's love language is gifts? They let it be that you are the one communicating the love, I beg. It's better that you communicate the love as often as possible. And see, honestly, I can say, right, that in some scenarios it will be okay for her to accept the gift, and in some it will not be okay. So it depends on your particular scenario. But for the woman, please make sure you're not opening up yourself to a follow-up call, for instance, that will leave you in a compromised situation. Protect yourself, protect your territory. Don't accept what makes you feel indebted. And if you know, even if you feel you're not going to be indebted, if you know your stakeholder, your husband, your boyfriend, or whoever is going to feel threatened by you accepting the gift, then please do not accept the gift. These are really important things. So please, while you're in your relationship, take time to get to know the other person. Situations like this give you the opportunity to understand this person a little more. How would they react? How would they respond? Are you okay with their response? Are you okay with how they act? And generally in relationships, you have to look out for what's happening. How is your friend, how is your fiance, how is your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, how are they responding to stuff? And I need to add, don't be quick to jump to conclusions, because it's possible that there are people out there who will say she collected the gift, that means she must want something, or who say he gave the gift, that means he must want something, or that means I cannot trust my girlfriend, or I cannot trust my wife, or hey, look at that, this is what you will do by the time we get married. I mean, don't jump to conclusions. Discuss, communicate, talk about it. If you didn't like it, say why you didn't like it. If you had a problem with it, say why you had a problem with it. If everything was okay, say you were okay. And if you have preferences of how it should be handled in the future, also express those feelings. There's always time to communicate. And I'll use the opportunity to say, yes, issues, sensitive issues like this, very serious tips like this that will help you in your relationships, right? To make those decisions that will bring you to a beautiful end, right? To the ultimate place if you're seeking to get married, right? I captured a couple of those tips in my book. In my book, Husband Material, I'm holding it up just in case you haven't seen it. This is what it looks like. Husband Material. It's a beautiful love story. And in there, you also have tips to help you. It's almost like having a coach right there with you, telling you some of those pitfalls, telling you all those do's and don'ts, highlighting those peculiar conditions that may be really tricky. You'll find a couple of those in here. You also find a love story. Love story, really exciting. Yes, and real life is not fiction. So it's not like we're saying what we haven't experienced. You'll find it in here. And everyone needs to go with the workbook as well, because the workbook is where you get down to the details and write out as you're going through and thinking about your own particular situation. How am I working through this? What do I need to do? Where should I start from as it concerns relationships? Where should I start? Can you hear? Now hear me. Hear me now. Can you? Okay, I believe you can hear me now. Audio lost. If you can hear me, just say, give me a thumbs up or type 555 or something. Okay, and yes, we have a giveaway today. We are going to go through our comment section and we are going to find the most active participants on today's show. And yes, each of you, 2 people, the top 2, will have a copy of the book and the workbook. Yeah. Yes, so we'll let you know. We'll send you a buzz. Yes, if you are the top 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You're muted.
Yes. We wanted to wait for those that are still here at the end of the show so that we would see of those here at the end of the show. The first two will get the gift because we are rounding up now. We are rounding up now.
Well, people that are still on the show. Back. Thank you, Djimoski. All right, so David, we weren't able to hear you, but we're happy you tried to join us live in the studio. I hope that network will be better next time. And to Debbie and Adenike and Djimoski and everyone else, thank you so much. It was really good to have you join us today on this live show. So you'll find the link. Thank you. And I would say goodbye at this point. And remember, common sense is not so common.